Last tutorial, we were sending data to two bars, and we were using VizSend to send the data. So we'll go ahead and connect our VizSend here again, and we were using these commands to send data to our bar. However, the $bar data, $seed had to correspond with our container structure within our scene. So if we expose our containers here, we had to make sure that our commands that we were typing in matched each one of these containers. So another way that you can access these, and a little bit of a shorter way you can access these, is using control channels. So what we're going to do is copy our bar here, and we'll just separate it out a little bit. So now that we have two bars, what we want to do is go into our second bar here. And again, we want to differentiate the names here a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and just rename these by putting a 2 behind each one of these. So we have name 2, wins 2, and loss 2, again, just like the previous tutorial. Instead, this time what we're going to do is we're going to come down into this control tab, and we're going to expose this window. Now we're going to drag each one of our containers down into this control channels window. So we're going to take our seed2 container and drag it down into the control channels. When we do that, it prompts you to give it a name here. So we can give it any name we want. We can just leave it the container name right there. We're just going to click OK. And notice that it creates a control channel right here named seed2. If we click on it, it also gives us this location down here and a number. So we have a # plus the number here. So what this means is that we can now use this number and or control channel name to send the data. And if we just pull up our show commands right here, I'll show you quickly what we mean. So we can come in here and we can type our send main scene again, because we are working with this scene. Now we want to go to the tree, but instead of typing each one of the container names, we can just type in the number of that object down there. You can see the number down here. It says number 2006. And now we can just complete the rest of it. So it's a geom text set, and we can just give it a variable there. We'll hit enter, and you can see that it changed that variable right there. Now, instead of using this number 2006, we could also use the name, and instead of the #, what you would use is the ampersand. So you would type seed2 for the name instead of the geometry number. So we'll go through each one of these, and we'll drag this down into our control channels. So we'll drag our logo down here. We'll give it the name logo2. We'll also drag the name 2 down here. We'll give it a control channel name of name 2. We'll drag the wins down here as well, and our final container of losses. So now we're going to send all the commands here, and I have a text document set up. We have our first set of commands here, which are going to use sending by the container names, and then we're going to use a second set of commands here using the geometry numbers, and we're going to save this off again to run the script in VizSend. So what we'll do is we'll just delete some of this information in here, and we'll just copy and paste what we need. So here's our first set of commands, and it's going to send using the container names. Now we're going to copy this and paste it, and instead this time we're going to use the geometry names or numbers. So we'll use the numbers here. We'll come down here and click on C2, and we see that this number 2006 will come into our text document here, and we can get rid of all of this here and just type in number 2006. And if we want to change the variable of what it's changing, we can come in here too, so that it's different from our first set of commands up top. So next we want to come down to the name here, and we'll change the name variable. If we click on it, we get the number 2058. So we can come into our text document here and type in the number. Next is our logo here that we want to change. We have the number 2046, and we can come in here and add the number within our text document. So I'll just come in and do the final two with our numbers here. So we just want to change, make sure that each thing here will change. We'll come in and change what the variables are receiving. We'll just make up new names, replace the previous flag with a new flag, and make up a new wins and losses record here. Now we can go ahead and save this text document. We're going to go ahead and save as. We'll do a CMD file again. Then we'll throw our Vizrt Artist on air. We'll go into our Vizsend app. We can get rid of all that. We'll clear our protocol. We'll go to our script and we'll look for the script that we just saved, multi1b. We'll open that and then we'll go ahead and run it and we get one error. So you can see that it ran through and changed each one of these variables here. And this time, instead of navigating through each one of these containers to find the actual container that we wanted to change, we just use the control channels this time. Now, if you're using Viz 3, it might be a little bit easier to use the @ name instead of the number.